From College Park, Maryland, this is Nittany Sports Now. I'm Joe Smeltzer with Brandon Walker. And Brandon, Penn State, I think the fan base and the team were looking to make a statement today. Last week, the team survived against Indiana, and surviving was going to be good enough in the win column, but not good enough, I don't think, from a public perception momentum standpoint. Winning 51-15, that is more than surviving. That is just
domination.
Kicking butt, domination. What did you see from Penn State out there today?
I saw good play from the quarterback,
Right.
hard running from Kaytron Allen.
Yep.
There's no doubt, Kaytron Allen is their number one back right now. You now have a solid number two receiver, two good receivers. I don't know if they're number ones, but we'll see. And I thought I was more scared of this game than last game because I didn't know they was looking forward to next week. But it proves that they had that 1-0 mentality that Coach Franco talked about.
Yeah, absolutely. And next week, the Michigan game, we can talk a little bit about that toward the end. But talking about this game, there was some uneasiness, I think, from the outside headed in. The Penn State was favored by 11.5 coming into the game. That line dropped 3 points, which is somewhat significant. So people were starting to think Josh Pate, who we all listen to, had Penn State on an 8 for upset alert, 8 out of 10. That is pretty high. But starting out 14-0, that kind of put Maryland behind the 8 ball. And although Maryland was able to score a touchdown aided by a roughing the punter penalty on 4th and 21, which that was probably the worst overall play of the game for Penn State. Penn State went right back down the field, scored, and made it 21-7, so like it never happened. And Drew Aller, as you mentioned earlier, 4 touchdown passes. He wouldn't say that this was the best game of his career, but I'll say it. I think Drew Aller played the best game of his college football career out there tonight.
And I predicted that was going to happen too in my predictions. And also, but one thing about it, negative thing, the penalties, the rough, all the 15. I counted. That was that. Another one that led to touchdown drive. A taunting penalty. Another roughing the passer. You got to clean that up because 15 yards to Maryland and 15 yards to Michigan. That's two totally different animals right now.
Penn State allowed, I believe, negative 49 yards rushing. That is counting sack yardage, to be clear, which not everybody does, but ESPN did tonight. So you count the 5 sacks Penn State got of Maryland's Talia Tagovailoa. Negative 49 yards, that just speaks for itself. This defense, nobody's really doubted this defense all year. People expect excellence from Manny Diaz's unit, and excellence is what they got tonight.
They did. I think it was because of last week. Because they gave up big plays.
Yep.
And then they didn't give up big plays, but two was getting 17 consecutive completions. So it just looked, the pass defense looked shaky, but like I said, Maryland couldn't run the ball because they carried the ball for 6 times for negative 2 yards between the running backs. So that also accounts into that as well.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier that Penn State has its biggest game, arguably its biggest game of the year, definitely the biggest home game of the year next week against Michigan, who's been wrapped up in a lot of stuff that we could talk for hours about, but talking specifically about football, Michigan is playing, as this is being recorded, Michigan's playing Purdue. They're not going to lose to Purdue. Purdue's 2-6. I don't know what the score is, but it's going to be pretty ugly by the end. We'll talk about this all week leading up to next Saturday in Happy Valley, but early on, Brandon, what is your early outlook for Penn State Michigan next week?
I picked them to win at the beginning of the year. I had them being Michigan. I don't know. I can't. It depends on what the Michigan's mindset is going into this game, because this is the biggest game that they have since this camp started.
They might not have Jim Harbaugh,
and they might not have it, and we'll get to that when we have our coverage. So. I can't say right now. I can't say right now.
Well, we got all week to give our final predictions, and until then, we'll have plenty more coverage from this evening in College Park, Maryland. Check us out on Nittany Sports Now. Our account is at Nittany SN. My account is at Joe Smeltzer 775. Brandon's at B Walker to Dawn. Our photographer Matt Lynch, who is filming this, he'll have a lot of stuff on the site as well. Matt, get your voice in real quick. What's your Twitter
No.
account?
Yinzer. Couldn't tell you how many Z's. I think it's 3 Z's.
It is 3 Z's. I'm pretty confident about that. But for Brandon Walker, I'm Joe Smeltzer. This has been Nittany Sports Now's coverage of a dominant Penn State win. Penn State 151-15. It is 8-1 overall, and it's a big one next week.